Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my video recipes. And in this one I'll show you how to make this very simple cheese and onion quiche. It's absolutely delicious and can be served hot or cold. If you've never made a quiche before, this is a great beginner's recipe for you to try. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website, and the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. By far, the best way to make short crust pastry is to use a food processor. It's very quick and easy, but more importantly, it keeps all the ingredients cold, which is essential when making short crust pastry. But if you want to make it by hand, you can see how it's done in my chicken and mushroom pie recipe. I'll leave a link in the description box below. First to go into the machine is the plain or all-purpose flour. Next is the salt. For this recipe you'll need 100 grams of fat, so I'm using 55 grams of butter plus 45 grams of lard, but you can use all butter if you wish. Pulse the machine until you have a fine breadcrumb consistency. This should take around 30 to 45 seconds. Next step, set the machine running while you slowly pour in the ice cold water. Once the pastry comes together and starts rolling around the machine like this, it's done. Once again, this should only take about 30 to 45 seconds. Now get all of the pastry out of the machine, including the bits. Gently knead the pastry and bring it all together. Then form it into a puck shape. Now wrap the pastry in cling film. And to do my bit for the planet, I like to use this biodegradable cling film. Once wrapped, get it into the fridge and chill it for at least 30 minutes before using it. Before going any further, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 355 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 4. Time to prepare the pastry. For rolling the pastry out, I'll be using our adjustable stainless steel rolling pin. Now these are also available on the website. These amazing rolling pins take all of the guesswork out of rolling your pastry out to the correct thickness. And for this one I'll be using the pastry spacer, which is the 1/8 or 3mm spacer. And this is our new 9-inch or 23cm pie and flan tin that I'll be using for this recipe. And if you're interested, these are now available in the shop too. And I've just greased this one with a little lard. Start by dusting your worktop with a little flour. Place the pastry in the middle and give that a dusting too. Now roll the pastry out into a large circle as shown. Roll it backwards and forwards in straight lines and turn the pastry 90 degrees at a time. This should keep it reasonably round. Remember, the pastry has to be bigger than the tin that you're using. Use your tin as a guide for the size that you need. If you have got one of these pins, keep rolling until the guides hit the bench. Then you should have the perfect size and the perfect thickness for this recipe. Once your pastry is big enough, give it a light dusting and roll it onto the pin. Set it aside for now and have a clean up. Remember, all of this flour can go back into your dusting container. Okay, now grab your rolling pin with the pastry on, line it up and unroll the pastry onto the greased tin. Using your fingers, carefully manipulate the pastry down into the tin. Once it's close enough down into the corner of the tin where the sides meet the base, using the palm of your hands, press gently all around the edge until the excess pastry comes away. Now using a small piece of that excess pastry, finish off pressing it down and basically tidy it all up. So far so good. Now we need to pre-bake the pastry. This is called blind baking. cut out a circle of parchment paper that's larger than the tin. I always keep and reuse my blind baking parchment papers, and that's why I've got one ready to go. Scrunch it up and very gently line the top of the pastry with it. Now you need something to weigh the pastry down, like blind baking ceramic beads or dried beans. I'm simply going to use rice. And by the way, there's no need to dock or prick the pastry, as there's quite a bit of weight in the rice to stop the pastry from bulging up when baking. Now gently compact the rice with your hand. Right, that's it. Now get it into the preheated oven. And if you're wondering, yes, you can use the same rice for blind baking over and over again. And once in, set your timer away for 30 minutes. Right, on to making the filling for this beautiful quiche. In a medium-sized bowl, crack in the eggs. Add the cream to the bowl, followed by the salt. Now give that a thorough whisk until the mixture is nice and runny. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon members and supporters. I'll be giving the latest list a shout out a little later in the video. Once that's mixed, transfer it into a large jug that has a good pouring spout. Right, time's up on that pastry case. Get it out and onto a wire rack, as we need to do a little work on it while it's still hot. Okay, close the oven door but keep it running. Now reduce the temperature to 170 degrees Celsius, that's 340 Fahrenheit or gas mark 3. Okay, back to the pastry case. Now using the parchment paper, carefully lift out the baking beads, the rice in my case, and set it aside. Now I like to give the inside of the case a good coat of the egg wash. And as the case is still very hot, it quickly dries. I like to think of this as waterproofing the case. It simply provides an extra barrier, preventing any leaks of the egg mixture. And if you're interested, we've acquired a limited number of these silicone utensil drip pads. They're really handy for keeping your bench hygienically clean, tidy and drip free. Time to put the quiche together. Make sure your quiche tin is on a baking tray. It'll make it much easier to get it into the oven. And it's just a matter of building it up in layers. For the onions, I'm using a mixture of diced shallots and spring or green onions. But the stronger white or red onions finely diced is fine too. Add a few of the onions to the bottom of the pastry case. For the cheese, I'm using this mild grated cheddar. Sprinkle some of that in with the onions. Now cover those with the egg mixture. And that's all there is to it. Onions, cheese, egg. Just keep building it up like that, a little at a time. Try to stop just below the top of the pastry case. And there you go, nothing to it. Now this is probably the most difficult part, and that's to get it into the oven. First, open the oven door. Now carefully lift the baking tray off the bench and into the oven. So as you can see, having the quiche tin on top of the baking tray makes life much easier. Once it's safely in, set your timer for 50 minutes. And while that's baking, I hope you don't mind if I give my 4 recipe books a quick shout out. The books have lots of our favourite recipes from our work kitchens in them. And also book 4 in this series is totally dedicated to bread recipes. The skeleton style oven gloves, now supporting our company name, are also available too. Just check out the link in the description box to our website store if you're interested in any of these items. Right, time's up on this beautiful quiche. And the aroma it's kicking out is amazing. And it's looking absolutely mouth-watering. I'll let it cool on the wire rack for a few minutes, and when I come back I'll cut a slice off and of course have a little taste. Okay, time to give it a try. And the first job is to get it out of the tin. Now I just leave the base on these tins. It's still really hot, by the way. Note that the rise has now gone down. You always get that with quiche. Now I can cut a slice off. Okay, time to give it a try. The pastry is so crisp and buttery, no soggy bottoms here, and the filling is moist and absolutely delicious. This quiche is great hot or cold, and I really hope you give this basic but, like I said, delicious recipe a try. Big thumbs up for this one, guys. And as mentioned earlier in the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Chaniporn Soup Singh, Michael Cog, Petra Lingsminat, Eddie Bradshaw, Jens K3250, Caroline Sykes 3636 and Paul Dancy. And there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.